Hi, Shelby Joe Long here with the Genius Entrepreneur Podcast. Welcome. I love having this podcast to be able to tell the stories of entrepreneurs that have created businesses out of their own genius so they can live a life of their passion, have some freedom, and do what they want to do. And it's a possibility for anybody to do that. So I like telling these stories. Today is no exception. Working with Courtney Martin in the past couple of months to discover more about her. And I'm excited to introduce Courtney and her new program, The Winning Mindset of Sales. She's going to tell us a lot more about that in this interview. So Courtney, welcome to the interview today.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, why don't you give us, let's start first with a little bit about you. And then we've talked about the Winning Mindset of Sales program. You can just start telling your story and we can figure all those things out.
Okay. I was in the medical sales industry for 16 years and loved it. Had a lot of successes for a good portion of my career. Won awards, won trips, brought home nice bonuses. Life was great. And then I had a family. I got married and had kids. And I began to see a change, and my focus at work was different. And it was like when I was at work, my mind was at home with the kids. And when I was at home with the kids, my mind was at work going, how am I going to get this account? How am I going to bring my numbers up? And it just seemed like I wasn't present in any role. And work got harder, and I started falling out of love with sales. And it seemed like no matter how hard I worked, my numbers kept going down. And it kind of got to the point where I felt like a failure in both worlds, at home and at work. Until one day I just thought, I can't do this anymore. And I just quit. And after I quit, I felt like I had a blank canvas. And I thought, gosh, I really want to do something, but I want to figure out what exactly I want to do. And so I picked up some books on how to, find purpose and reach goals and, live the life of your dreams and all that kind of stuff. And I found it really fascinating because a lot of these books talked about mindset and talked about how our primal brain, for example, can put limits on us when we don't even know we're working under those limits. And when we are under these limits, then we're not living to our full potential. And a light bulb went on and I went, gosh, if I would have known about these mindset practices and these tools, I could have been far more successful in sales and happier. And so that's kind of how it started. And we don't have, coming from a corporate sales background, we had a lot of great tools and a lot of great resources, but the mindset component is something we didn't have. And I just felt like, a lot of people out there, it's something that we need. And so I thought, why not it be me to bring it to them?
Absolutely. Gosh, before we get into your program, I just want to touch on a few things with your story. I know there's a lot more to your story, but I think you hit on a few things that kind of resonate with probably a lot of our audience members, that you're in a job, you're doing well, you're showing success, and then you have these family obligations that are stretching you always, and it's just hard to be present. And I resonate with a lot of that too. And my own entrepreneurship journey is similar. I have similar tensions to that, but I bet a lot of our audiences out there too, like you succeed at work, you're doing well, but gosh, it's taken away from time with your family. I think that's just kind of an important thing to find out and discover. And then you have quite a background in sales. 16 years is a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I started out in pharmaceutical sales, and then there was a massive layoff, and then I found it was the cardiovascular area that I worked in, and I loved it. And so when I had that layoff, I ventured into heart monitor sales. So I did that for 12 years, and I loved it. It was great, and learned a lot, and met a bunch of fascinating people, and I loved it until I didn't. Until it stopped loving me.
Until it stopped loving you. I love that. I love that. Some people, and to be, and the point where you decided, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make this new thing, or you didn't know what you were going to do, but you knew that something was missing and you weren't fulfilled. And
Yes.
I wonder how many people are sitting in jobs right now thinking, I just got to last a couple more years in this, right? I just got to go 15 more years before I retire, or 20 more years or whatever. And that sounds, I don't know. I think it's very courageous to take that step. And it's also, so I commend you on that, but it's also very courageous to step into the role to fill a need that you understand is missing. You were in that industry for so long, and then to think about, I think it could be improved with just this piece added to it. So
Absolutely.
I think that's very commendable. So why don't you tell us about this mindset of the winning mindset of sales program? It sounds like something that is going to help medical sales, but probably anybody in sales.
Yeah, medical sales is my background, but really the corporate American, sales background. I mean, in general, it could help anyone. But yeah, the medical sales is my background, and it's a highly, it's very lucrative, but there's also high turnover rate, and it's because we lack this mindset component. And I was always so intrigued by those reps that had long-term success. They were always at the top, always winning. And it's very hard to do in corporate sales anywhere, because you always have a number you're chasing. And when you hit that number, guess what? It goes up. And it's really hard to maintain that status at the top. And I couldn't do it. And but there are people who did. And I went, how are they doing it? We have the same products, the same management, the same competitors, the same challenges. And so I found that through my research that, yeah, we all could do this, but we need the right tools. And so, a lot of my course, all of my course modules are backed by science, and it's neuroscience, to be specific. And for example, it goes over how to identify success blockers and success drivers. And a lot of times we don't know we're operating under the blockers. I didn't know. And that's when sales is really hard. And you keep working and you keep working and you keep going, and nothing's working. And it's just because you don't have the right tools, like I didn't. And really the need for this program came out of my two battles. My battle being a working mom and not being 100% there. And then my battle with not succeeding, not having the same success that I had before having a family. And so I kind of combined mindset. It was a marriage of the mindset and sales, hoping I could work with both. Because when you are not successful at your career, then it permeates into your home life. And they're either in, both of them influence the other. And so so this course is it's supposed to help that long-term, how to have long-term sustainable success in sales. You can have all the skill sets. You can have, you can be a self-motivated individual. You can have all the product knowledge, but all of it means nothing if you're working under a limited mindset.
Sure.
And so that's where I hope to, I hope to help people everywhere with this course have that long-term sustainable, successful sales career.
Absolutely. It sounds like an asset for anybody who runs a business, right? Because you need to be in the right mindset to do the sales piece of it, because you can't have a business if you don't have sales, you don't have revenue stream. But it also sounds like an asset to medical companies and people that have sales teams. Like, how can they make their sales teams better? And how can they make them more productive? And to make it, yes, the numbers are important, but to also understand that it sounds like a holistic type of approach to sales. And I think that's something that's probably been missing. And it sounds like it is in the medical industry.
Yeah, it absolutely. It's, we do a wonderful job of educating, our reps on products and competitors, and cultivating selling skills. But this is something that when I discovered it, I went, oh my gosh, everyone needs to hear this. Every company needs to be able to offer this to their employees. Because I know when I was in sales, it wasn't just me struggling with this piece. It was my colleagues that I talked to every day. And that's when I went, we're leaving a whole lot of potential on the table, and we don't have to, money and potential. So I really think that this course is going to, hopefully change the way corporate America, sales in corporate America, they think about success and employee turnover. And sales is so lucrative. It can be so lucrative, and it can be so fun if we have the right tools.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to ask about your online course, I mean, that's something that a lot of people can access, but that's only part of your business. Can you talk about what other transformation and what other coaching and consulting you can provide to businesses?
Yeah. So like, for example, I just did an event on cultivating company culture, which mindset plays a large role in that. So, we talked about, how to have a positive one, and the different things, that employees and employers can do. And then also kind of where they can get into trouble with that. But, mindset is kind of my brand, my umbrella. And then, sales, I love talking about sales. And so, that's one piece of it. And I also have a book that is coming out in 2024. It's in publishing right now. And that's kind of about my personal journey of how, I went from, miserable in my corporate job to, starting my own thing, and kind of the journey there. But yeah, I mean, mindset, it's so huge. And I think for the longest time, it hasn't been talked about because it was like woo and out there.
Yeah.
But now neuroscience has had so many advancements just in the last decade. We now understand that things like visualization actually helps, grow neurons and neural pathways in the brain. And, you can actually, if you have the right tools and you know how to do it, you can lead your brain to want the same things you do. And when you can do that, then everything opens up, and you can do the things that, you never thought possible. And so, I'm very much, my brand started like, how to live a life with purpose and intention. And, if you are unhappy with, whatever facet in your life, you have the power to change it. You have a choice. And we've only got one life, and,
Absolutely.
we all have limitless potential. And so I'm very much, a huge advocate for helping anyone, whether it's career at home or, whomever, discover that and live the life that they are intended to live.
Sounds like there's going to be many more things that are added to your business umbrella as your business begins to grow. And
I hope so. I'm ready.
yeah, I know you are. I know you are. I'm excited about your book. I'm excited to read your book. And I know that's in production and it's coming out. 2024 is right around the corner. So I'm looking.
I know.
Yeah. And I am a full believer that you telling your story, and that is a way to inspire others to take the step that you did, or to think about their own journey in a different way. So
yeah, absolutely.
the more content you have, the more things you have out there, the better it is. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Courtney, is there anything that's coming up on the horizon immediately in your business that we should be on the watch out for?
I'm always doing, workshops, and, I post, daily, weekly content, on my blog and my social media platforms. I'm going to have a podcast soon, so stay tuned for that. Been busy with the book and courses, but the podcast is next on my list. Just following in your footsteps, Shelby.
Yeah. You have been so hard at work with your course and your program, and it's really going to pay off because you have the asset, but there's so much more that is around that. I think it's going to be it's going to be an amazing journey from now on.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Courtney, where can our audience find you?
So I am on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram as Courtney Martin Mindset. And my website is courtneymartinmindset.com. Also winning mindset of sales.com. So those, you can find me there, and the course will be there as well as some other resources for visitors. And I'll have a newsletter if anyone wants to, subscribe and just kind of get some weekly inspiration. And I tell everyone, if anything, just drop a hey, send me an email. My email's on my website, and would love to hear from you.
Well, Courtney, you talked a lot about your journey and transitioning from corporate to entrepreneurship and discovering something new. What piece of advice would you give to people out there that are thinking about maybe doing the same thing?
Do it. You're always going to have those limiting beliefs, and you've got to learn to silence them and just go for it. And, it's like you only have one life. And if you have that little voice in the back of your head going, I want you to do this, or you have a passion or hobby, that voice is there for a reason. It's telling you to rip off that Band-Aid and go for it. And, a lot of people are scared of change, and they think that it's irresponsible or irrational, but those are just those limiting voices. It's just the primal brain trying to keep you stagnant. And I didn't realize that until I learned about the primal brain. And once you learn to combat those voices, you really step into your power, and you discover a life that's been waiting there all along for you. And I know I haven't looked back, and I wish I had done this 10 years ago. So to the budding entrepreneur, I would say, do it and you'll figure out the how. If you have the passion, you have the drive, the how will come. I promise you. Just do it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I think there's so much scary about that, but then there's a beauty in that fear,
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's great. And just do it. I've heard that a few places before, but I think if you're thinking about it, something's telling you to do it. Get out, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? Really, the resounding thought in my mind kept going, well, no one else is going to do it for me. I got to do it. I've got to be the one. What am I waiting for? I could be waiting, for years. It's not going to happen to me. I have to make it happen. And so once you get to that point, the possibilities are endless. And
Absolutely.
so yeah.
Just seeing how much your whole life has transformed with your assets and your brand and everything building over the past couple of months. I can't wait to talk to you in 6 months and see where you're at, and in a year and see where you're at, because we're all going to be in different places. So
yeah. I'm excited. My future is uncertain too. And, but I know, I'm very excited for what's to come. I know it's only going to be amazing things. So, I've enjoyed working with you and, everything that you've taught me. And so as long as you're still with me in 6 months or a year, I know I'm going to go places, Shelby.
I will be. I will be. I will be. Well, Courtney, thank you for coming to the interview today and inspiring our audience to take that step and just do it, because life is too short to do that, to not do it. And I think that's inspirational. And I thank you for giving our audience that message. That's great.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. And to all you genius or potential genius entrepreneurs out there, I love helping you discover the path for you to have the job of your dreams. It's not a job at that point. It's a lifestyle, and it's something that you do and that you're passionate about and that you love, and to leave your footprint in the world. You can do it too. So I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions, and to follow the Genius Entrepreneur podcast to hear more inspirational stories like this. So thank you, Courtney, and have a great day.
Thank you.